Okay, I don't know if this is just a coincidence, but lately I've been hearing more and more filmmakers bring up the fact that YouTubers are using their microphones incorrectly because they're holding them, kind of like I'm doing in this video. And even though I realize a lot of the people that are bringing it up are doing it in a very lighthearted and comedic way, I have seen some comments out there that seem genuinely upset about what feels like the most insignificant and silly thing. And even though I'm aware of the fact that for the most part, this whole holding your microphone thing has become a trend at this point, and that's why a lot of people are doing it, I feel like there are a few very valid reasons why holding your microphone actually makes a lot more sense than some people might think. And not only that, but I feel like it might be the better choice in certain situations. So first of all, this is much more convenient than clipping my microphone onto my shirt and having it pull my clothes in weird ways that end up annoying me when I'm looking at the footage later. And I don't have to worry about running wired lavalier microphones and also clipping them onto the inside of my shirt, trying to figure out where to position them so that they're recording audio well, but they're also not rubbing up against my skin or another piece of clothing and making a bunch of noise. And I also don't have to worry about setting up a stand for a shotgun microphone and then positioning it in just the correct place to where it's capturing audio, but it's not in the frame of what the camera's seeing. And if I was working on like a paid client project, I would obviously take all of those necessary steps to make sure that everything sounds and looks as professional as possible. But this is not a paid client project. This is a YouTube channel. And the reason I say that is because to me, the convenience of just picking up a microphone and recording whatever I need to record is so much more important than being perceived as being more professional by someone. Like, I get it. It is a good idea to know how you're supposed to be using your microphones in the technically correct way. But for stuff like this YouTube video, that creates so much more friction and it makes it way less likely for me to actually want to record anything if I know that there are so many other steps that I need to take before hitting the record button and actually getting to do what I want to do. Also, there has to be a reason why TV reporters as well as game show hosts are always holding a microphone, because it's so much easier to just like hand off the microphone to somebody that needs to speak for a very short period of time than having to set up their own separate microphone. And aside from the question of convenience, there's also this thing called the proximity effect, which essentially means that the closer you are to your microphone, the better your voice is supposed to sound. Obviously, that has to happen within reason, because if I bring the microphone way too close to my mouth, the air that's exiting it as I'm speaking is going to make the audio sound worse instead of better. But as long as you're mindful of that, the proximity effect is actually something that you can use to your advantage. You might have heard some of the YouTubers that you watch use the proximity effect sort of for like comedic purposes, where they're going to start telling you a joke and then they're going to bring the microphone close to actually deliver the punchline. And that's something that you can't really do if you clip your microphone onto your shirt, because you don't really have any control over the positioning of it. But another added benefit of the proximity effect is that if you're in a very noisy environment, you can just bring the microphone a little bit closer to your mouth, speak a little bit quieter, but have what you're saying be heard better. And something else that might sound a little weird, and maybe this is just like a me thing, but holding the microphone actually gives me something to do with my hands. I don't know if any of you are going to be able to relate, but whenever I just like sit down to record a video with my regular boom microphone above me, I sit there and I fidget with my hands because I'm not really sure what to do with them. And that ends up making me feel super awkward as I'm speaking to the camera, which is already a problem that I have. So I feel like that's definitely an underrated aspect of holding your microphone and not using it the correct way. And finally, and arguably most importantly, who gives a shit? Like I said, if this was a paid client project, I would obviously try to take every step that I can to make sure things sound and look as professional as possible. But that's not the case. This is YouTube. This is a platform where you're supposed to just have fun and express yourself. So why would you worry about how somebody else perceives you based on how you're holding a microphone? I just feel like some people out there actively look for something to be upset over, and this feels like the dumbest possible thing to pick. The most important thing is that you're having fun and you're enjoying whatever it is that you're creating. So set your microphone up correctly, clip it onto a shirt, make sure that you're hiding it, boom it up above you on a stand, or don't. It doesn't matter.